Hey everyone and welcome to the finale of Crash Bandicoot, where today we have two things left to do. The Great Hall, a standard level with no relic and no gem, and then the final boss. Let's do it. And as you can see, this is not really a level at all. We have two ways to go, the exit or the gem path. The gem path is only fully available once you have every gem in the game, and we'll get to the gem path. The gem path will come after we beat the final boss, I think. Alright, Dr. Neo Cortex, let's do this. Now this boss,
Darn you, Crash Bandicoot!
I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it. I think this is a bad final boss. It has been a while since I played the original PS1 game, but I remember in the original PS1 game the final boss being a pushover, like brain empty, no thoughts, beating him trivially. Now I could be misremembering because it has been a while, but well, I remember him being fairly easy, at least especially compared to this version of the boss fight, which I am, on the one hand, glad they made it harder. On the other hand, as you may have noticed with that death I just got, I was not touching his shot there. I was not touching it. Not in the slightest. And yet, it killed me. So yeah, this boss has a few issues. I'm glad they made it what feels much harder than I remember the PS1 being, but it has a few issues. Number one, the hitboxes are kind of bad. Like, they're way bigger than it feels like they should be. The hitboxes on his attacks are way bigger than it feels like they should be. And that's not great. That makes it really, really hard to actually, dodge his attacks. You're gonna try and jump, think, oh, this is perfect timing, I'll dodge his attack just fine. And then you get hit when you're like, what feels like a foot away. Not great, not ideal. Additionally, this might just be a me thing, but I have a lot of trouble with the depth perception in this fight. I really struggle to tell when shots that he's firing directly at you are actually, about to hit you. Which can make it a little bit difficult to know when to dodge and when to spin, especially since we need to spin these green shots back at him to actually do damage. It can be a bit of an issue. It can definitely be a bit of an issue.
Darn you, Crash Bandicoot!
Those two factors combined make this a very miserable boss for me to play, to the point this is my second attempt, because the first attempt I did eventually beat him after 20 or so attempts. Maybe not 20. No, I only got 2 game overs and I was on my last life, so that would be 14 attempts. 14 attempts, I want to say, is how many it took. Why did I jump? Okay, that was on me. Obviously that was on me. But yeah, no, it took me like 14 attempts to finally beat him, and I was getting so frustrated that I could only do it once I stopped talking. It's the glorious curse of trying to talk and also play at the same time. Honestly, it's very possible this boss is not as bad as it feels to me. I'm possibly just very dumb. But, this boss feels really bad to me. I don't like it. He's gonna have five rounds. I didn't spin. I'll take the blame.
Game over.
I will take the blame. I will take the game over. The first game over in the playthrough. Be quiet about the fact that I said I got 2 game overs in my earlier attempts at fighting him. And let's do this. So yeah, I need to hit his green shots back at him. After the first round, we need to hit multiple green shots in order to actually do damage to him. Thankfully, he'll also start firing out green shots. He'll also do this nonsense where he fires in the wrong direction, which is annoying, Cortex. Please stop that. Do be careful. You can walk off the front and back of this blimp, which I learned completely on accident. I was not pushing up or back on my D-pad, and yet apparently Crash decided to slip off the backside. I don't know how it happened. I deleted the footage, and I kind of wish I did it so I could prove I'm not crazy, and I did actually, slip for some reason. But you're just gonna have to trust me that it's probably an issue with my controller. I hope not. I hope it's not an issue with my controller. That would be tragic because I just got this controller this year. The point remains that I don't think I like this boss very much. It's interesting. I find the whole boss very interesting, and it could be very good, but for some reason, it's just bad.
You Crash Bandicoot.
I don't know why. It just is not computing with my brain. Hitboxes aren't making sense to me. They feel way too big. Timing doesn't make sense to me. I can't do the depth perception for some reason. Shrug? Shrug. I don't know why, but it's just not working with my brain, and I don't like that. So I'm going to be quiet, probably, so I can focus on actually dodging. Like, half these mistakes are mine, and I'll own up to that, but
Darn you, Crash.
I'm having enough issues with the big hitboxes and the timings that I'm like, okay, it's not just me. It's not just me being bad at it. Like, I'm bad at it, for sure. Yeah, no, a lot of it's on me. And this is why I need to stop talking, because I'm getting flustered and screwing myself over. But, like, there's also aspects of this boss that just don't work. And I don't know why. And they should work. But, like, my brain's not vibing with it.
Darn you, Crash Bandicoot.
And got him. That took a lot longer than I like to admit. I don't know why. I just struggle with that boss. I struggle with him for some reason. And that was Crash Bandicoot. I did very much enjoy the original release on PS1, as much as I think the original PS1 game was way, way too hard. The remake, overall much better. Honestly, way, way better. The fact that they made it so much easier with being able to save at basically any time, so you don't need to get a gem or beat a Tana stage in order to save. Yeah, much better in that regard. Much better that you don't have to beat every single level without dying to get the gems. Keeping it to just the colored gems is a good way to like keep some of that difficulty while making it not unreasonable. Overall, lots of great improvements. I enjoyed it a lot. You know my complaints though. I think the jumping. The jumping controls, not great. They just don't feel good. They don't feel right. I got used to them eventually, but it just does not feel right. They tweak the jump too much without really tweaking the level design to account for it, and that made a lot of things way harder than they needed to be. Which we saw a lot of, at least until the third island when I started to really get the hang of it. The fact that you can get the hang of it implies that it's not, like, necessarily bad controls. They're certainly serviceable, but I have issues. I don't think it's good. I think they should have stuck to the original jump controls. If maybe a little bit tweaked, tuned up, but like they shouldn't have changed it as much as they did. I don't think. I think that was a mistake. And the final boss, I don't know why I had so much issue with it. It wasn't the first time in the game that I had issues with depth perception. It wasn't the first time in the game that I had issues with depth perception. But it was rare that I had issues with depth perception. But it wasn't the first time, which implies that there is something not quite right there. Though that could definitely be a me issue, not a game issue. I will admit that. That's perfectly possible. And then throughout the game, we noticed it really, we really noticed it at the start of the game, in the very first level. There were some weird issues with the hitboxes in this game. And it cropped back up again with the final boss. That's not the first time that I have had issues with the hitboxes in this game. It happened at the start of the game when the first level was absolutely a nightmare, and it continued to be an issue throughout the game, but I largely got used to it. But the final boss it got bad again. I don't know why I struggled with it so much. Because while the hitboxes don't feel quite right, they aren't that bad. I think my brain's just like very consistently, this distance should be safe, and then it's not, and I just cannot comprehend why it's not. Even though I know it's just because the hitboxes are not quite what they probably should be. And while I do have these complaints that that really, really frustrate me, it is still a really, really good remake and a really good port. It's a beautiful game. Gorgeous. I love so much about it. I have issues with the story, but that's an issue with the original game too. I don't like that it's kind of like really fucking ableist. It leans into some Hollywood racism stereotypes. There's a little bit of like the way they handle Tana, I don't fully like. The opening cutscene, they do the whole, oh, she's such a badass, that clearly makes her a great written woman, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of lazy, but also they can't really change too much of the plot, so like, again, that issue's on the original release, and they tried to fix it at least a little bit, which I do respect that. It just comes across kind of poorly. It feels like they're like, I don't know, I feel like it may have been a little bit better if they didn't try and like fix it. Just let it be like, hey, the original game was like this, the original game had this same fault, and there's not much we can do about it. I don't know. I respect they tried to fix it. I feel like it kind of backfired. It made it feel forced in a way that I don't personally like. Shrug. I respect that they tried. I also really just don't like the opening cutscene in general. It's not bad. I just prefer the PS1 version of the opening cutscene. I think it works better and doesn't quite play up the ableism so much. Which, yeah, I would prefer that. And it doesn't play up the ableism so much in the original release because they didn't have the like cinematic technology that they have nowadays. Like, I don't know. I've got a lot of like nitpicks with this game. I have a lot of very specific nitpicks that irk me, but overall it is really good. I did very much enjoy this. But yeah, with Crash Bandicoot, not quite done, because we do have a true ending thing. We have a thing that comes up when you get all the gems. You may have noticed back in the Great Hall there was a gem path that we did not take. We'll be taking that after the credits. But since we are in the credits, I do want to do my usual shilling. I have a Patreon. It's down in the description. If you want to check it out and support me, that would be fantastic. It is not required, but it is very much appreciated. Everyone who does support me on the Patreon. For $1 a month, you get access to polls on any upcoming games that I'm going to be playing. Which those polls usually go up about a week before I record the final episode of whatever Let's Play I'm working on, and close when I go to record that final episode. And you get to just basically pick from a few options what game do you want to see me play next. If you pledge $5 or more a month, you get episodes In advance, I've always tried to maintain about a 4-week buffer just in case events come up like life, like illness, stuff like that. I had a surgery back in June of this year of 2023, and the buffer helped to, deal with that, to like make sure episodes were coming out even while I was recovering. So yeah, I've got this little bit of extra buffer. I try and say about 4 weeks in advance, but if you pledge $5 or more a month, you get to skip that and just watch videos as soon as they're ready. Oh my god, they had John DiMaggio in this game? Who did he play? I'm really... Maurice LaMarche too! Oh damn! They got, Mark Mothersbaugh! Oh my god, they got a fucking crew in this game! Alright, that's actually really cool! I'm seeing names I recognize. Yeah, $5 or more a month, you get to view videos basically as soon as they're ready. Once I have recorded, edited, and reviewed them to make sure they're all good to go. They'll be available on my Patreon if you're $5 a month or more. And $10 a month or more, you get special thanks at the end of my videos. Once you are pledged for $10 a month, and that is confirmed, your name will start showing up in the end slates of every episode. Which is, just my way of saying thanks to people who pledge that much money. Though, of course, it's all completely optional. None of my content is locked behind Patreon. The only, none of my content is locked behind Patreon. You just get access to it early, you get to help influence the direction of the channel. And you get a little bit of special thanks. Now that being said, the next Let's Play we're going to be doing, I'm not going to say what it is yet, but it is a follow-up to a game that I did about a year ago, an RPG series that I very much enjoy, grew up on, loved a lot as a kid, about an interesting relationship. Oh my gosh, dev times! Well then, I don't think I want to even attempt to beat these. Gosh! Oh dear. Oh, and they even include the Crash 2 and Crash 3 dev times. Got it. But yeah, I'm excited for the next Let's Play. And there will be a hint to it coming soon, in the form of a bonus episode for the previous Let's Play in that series, coming out over a year after that original Let's Play ended. Exciting. You'll know what the next Let's Play is once that bonus episode comes out. It'll be coming up soon. But no bandicoots were harmed in the creation of this game. Now the credits are finishing up. Let's hop back in and go check out those couple bonus things that I mentioned. All right, back to the Great Hall. Let's go check out the gem path. All right, oh, it ditched us. Rude, come back here. What if they did have a time trial for this stage? What would the record be? Half a second? Quarter of a second? Tenth of a second? Or would the time trial be for taking this gem path? Oh, I actually meant to count these. Oh well, I'm pretty sure there's exactly as many gems on this gem path as there are clear gems that we collect in the game. And given that we need all the colored gems in order to get all the clear gems, you need every single gem in order to get here. Though you can technically skip one clear... gem while still going for this gem path, if you get the clear gem from Stormy Ascents. And if you skip one clear gem, that means you can also skip a colored gem, since the colored gems don't directly appear in this area. So that's a little neat. If you're having trouble with any of the colored gems, like the one in Lights Out, which ate so many lives. No, wait, that was fumbling off a cliff. This is getting silly. Come on, I'm not gonna get a game over on the freaking Great Hall gem path, am I? Oh, this is sad. Oh, I'm having a bad day. Okay, line up. Let's go. And these gems aren't gonna fall, are they? No, they wouldn't. That's ridiculous. Okay, good. I didn't miss this time. Now, let's get to the end without screwing up that very final jump. God, that was silly. Papu sold the ruins of Castle Cortex to a resort developer. He then used the proceeds to open a big and tall shop on the island. You know what? Good for him. After intense therapy and 8 years of higher education, Dr. Ru went on to write the well-received book Through the Eyes of the Vortex, a study of rapid evolution and its consequences. Nice. I'm glad. Koala Kong moved to Hollywood and landed a motion picture deal of universal proportions. Currently, he is working with a speech therapist to improve his diction. A motion picture deal with Universal? Pinstripe moved to Chicago, where he now owns and operates a citywide sanitation company. He is saving money for his upcoming gubernatorial campaign. Good luck, Chicago. After the disappearance of his mentor, Dr. Nitrous Brio rediscovered his first love, tending bar. The world has heard nothing more of Cortex since Crash foiled his plans, but evil geniuses are harder to squash than cockroaches. And I'm gonna say, I don't like that true ending with how they treat Tana. Oh no, that was not great. That was not great at all. That was not great. Alright, well, that's it for Crash Bandicoot. I had a great time overall. I will see everyone next time for a bonus episode for a previous Let's Play, and then we're on to a new series. I'll see everyone next time for that.